When you first open the Contractus application, you're greeted with the main screen. Here you have the choice, either set up a brand new Solana wallet or simply import one you already have. When importing an existing address, you have the flexibility to enter the private key as text or recover it from iCloud if you've previously saved your private keys there. If you opt to create a new account, you'll receive a private key for it, and it's crucial to securely store this key, and one option is to save it to iCloud. Upon entering the main app screen, we're presented with our balances, a plus button for top-ups, and statistics detailing our current and completed transactions. Clicking on the plus icon brings up options for balance top-up, either directly through a crypto transaction or by purchasing with a bank card. By tapping the button at the center of the screen, you have the option to either wrap or unwrap the Solana coin. Let's talk about deal creation. Start at the main app launch screen, and you'll notice a balance of 15,200 CTUS. Tap the New Deal button. Choose your role in the deal, be it a client or an executor, and for this, select Client. Now opt against involving a third-party mediator or oracle. See the Performance Bond option? This prevents the other party from backing out unilaterally. However, for this example, decide that neither party provides this bond. This choice means that either party can back out at any point, and the smart contract will process a refund to the client or the product owner, minus the platform's commission, of course. Press Create. Now we're presented with a generated secret key. It's 1/3 of the total key required to decrypt and gain access to the contract. Another third is securely stored on the user's device, and the final third resides on our servers at Contractus. Individually, these key segments can't decrypt the contract. However, any 2 out of the 3 of the segments can. This is based on Shamir's secret sharing scheme. Indeed, you need to share this segment with your counterpart, but how? Well, they can either scan a QR code or receive it as text through any messenger. Once done, the other party will have access to the encrypted contract, having now obtained 2 out of the 3 key segments, one from the QR code or text, and the other from the Contractus servers. Then move to the deal setup screen. From the main app screen, start by tapping Edit next to Amount of Deal. This lets you decide the currency or token for the transaction. Now switch to Holder mode. Available only if your balance is 10,000 CTUS or more, this mode lets you conduct a transaction without any service fees at all. Those 10,000 CTUS get locked in the smart contracts during the transaction, but will be released back into the client's address afterward. Set the contract amount to 1,000 CTUS, then tap the Change button at the bottom. Press Edit next to Deadline, and here set the contract's end date. If this date passes without deal completion, the smart contract will process a refund to the client after deducting contractor's fees. Click on Set adjacent to Text. Fill in the terms of your agreement. Once satisfied, hit the Save button at the top right. For attachments, tap Add next to Files, and if you choose to amend the contract text, press Open next to Text. Next, choose the executor for this contract by tapping Set next to Executor. Input their Solana network address, and confirm this all by pressing Add at the screen's bottom. Return to the deal screen, and once all details are set up, tap Sign at the bottom to endorse the contract from your end. A pop-up window will then emerge for a final review. Go through all of the details and terms before pressing Sign and Confirm. Back on the deal screen, you'll see the option to withdraw your signature, that's if the other party hasn't signed yet, or entirely annul the contract. When ready, tap the Back button on the top left corner. This brings you to the app's main launch screen, where your newly created deal is displayed as new. From the main app screen, you'll notice a new deal from the client with an address ending in 78A. In this instance, you're the executor. Click on this deal to dive into the details. You're now in the specifics of the contract. However, the terms are encrypted since the client has secured them. Wait for a decryption key from the client, and at the top right, tap Import. This lets you manually input the key or scan its QR version. Having done that, all deal details, including the text and attachments prepped by the other party, become accessible. Feel free to make amendments and/or attach more files if needed. In this case, the signature of the first party will be cancelled, and he will need to re-sign the agreement with the changes made. Next, hit Sign and Start. A new window will then pop up. Thoroughly review the details and conditions, then press Sign and Confirm. Once both parties endorse the contract, a smart contract activates and locks in the following. The contract sum from the client, in this case it's 1,000 CTUS. The performance bond amount, if one or both parties offer a collateral to ensure the contract's non-termination by the opposite side. For this instance, there's none. 10,000 CTUS from the client, since they've chosen the holder mode. Remember, this mode conducts the deal fee-free, but with a 10,000 CTUS lockout through the entire transaction. Upon its conclusion, these funds return to the client regardless of the contract's success or early termination. To summarize, 11,000 CTUS, this is 10,000 plus the 1,000, gets locked from the client's account in the smart contract. Thus, their wallet balance will now equal 4,200 CTUS. This is the 15,200 we had initially, minus the 10,000, minus the 1,000. Post-signing, you'll land on the contract screen. Head back to the app's main screen, refresh the page, and you'll see the contract status shift to in work. In the stats, there's a locked amount since the deal isn't completed yet. The executor then proceeds with their tasks or services according to the contract's terms. This could be an extended process. During this phase, the smart contract holds the aforementioned sums to guarantee secure payouts. Once the executor believes that they've fulfilled their end, they should access this contract. Upon opening, the initial contract parameters remain consistent since both parties have signed. After completing your tasks as the executor, document the work outcomes either in text or with file attachments, or both. To do so, tap Add adjacent to text and files under the Results header, then feed in the requisite data. Lastly, navigate back to the app's primary screen. When finishing up the deal, first comes accessing the application. The client then clicks on the desired deal, specifically the one with the in-work status. The deal window then opens, and to review the results, the client taps on View next to the text field. Satisfied with the results and deeming the contract fulfilled, the client presses Finish Deal. Then they click on Sign and Confirm to endorse the contract, indicating agreement with its completion. To exit, they tap Close. Back on the deal screen, it's evident the deal concluded successfully. Click on Back at the top left-hand corner to return to the main app's interface. Finally, once on the main app screen, the client can spot the concluded deal in the history, along with a summary of dispersed funds. Their balance now reflects 14,200 CTUS. This is because the smart contract paid 1,000 to the executors agreed, and the 10,000 for utilizing the holder mode has been returned to the client post-contract completion. So what does finishing up the deal look like from the executor's side? Well, first of all, the executor needs to open up the application and is then greeted by the main screen. And indeed, the wallet balance is increased by 1,000 CTUS, reflecting the contract's completion. The smart contract has facilitated this transfer. In the transaction statistics, it's clear that the sum was earned and credited. To further investigate, the executor clicks on the relevant deal, which now shows a done status. To exit this view, they simply press the back button located at the top left corner. The main app screen now becomes visible, where the executor can proceed with other tasks or actions.